Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
All right, thanks a lot, Ken, and thank you for tuning into the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm Rich Walsh. I'll be joined by Ron Cook in just a couple moments here. So give us a call tonight, 412-575-2600 is the number. Talking about the Buccos. You could raise it tonight. They didn't win, but they didn't lose, which is a good thing. They're on the West Coast here for the next 6 games in California. 3 against San Diego starting tomorrow, then 3 in L.A. after that. Then they come back home against Philadelphia. They need to do something on this road trip. Ron and I were talking about this just before the show, Ron, and I think yesterday was a crucial win. And the way they won might have done something with this team. I'm anxious to see how this road trip goes because when you get optimistic, then they let you down, and then you're pessimistic. But I'm a little optimistic now just to see if they can get back to 500 here in the next 2 weeks.
Rich, I thought it was a big game last night. I mean, there was a big difference. If they'd have lost last night, would have been, 7 out of 8 losses, but worse, 2 out of 3 against, to me, the worst team in baseball, the Mets. They'd have been 6 games below 500. Now they're 4 below 500. I think if they'd have lost last night, I don't think we'd have ever watched them smell 500 the rest of this season. It was nice to see Polanco have another night. It was nice to see Vasquez really have another night. I think he's back to what he was, which is a real good thing. I'm not sitting here thinking they're going to make the playoffs, but it would have been a whole lot worse if they'd have lost last night.
Yeah, and it's hard to say that this team is really in contention for a wild card. You want to believe it, but they're really only ahead of 4 teams in the National League, and that's not realistic. I mean, the fact that Neil Huntington said a week ago that they were going to be buyers before losing these games right here, I think is ridiculous. I think they need to face reality a little bit and say, you know what, just come out and tell everyone, trust us. I know you don't. I know things have been bad and no one believes us, but trust us. We're going to trade away some guys and we're going to do what the Brewers did, and we're going to do what the Rangers did, and we're aiming for 2020. Something like that.
Well, I don't know. You have to aim that far down the road, but maybe. I mean, you still don't have to make those decisions right now. That's the good thing, Rich. It's trade deadline is until the end of July. What if they get hot and win 6 or 7 in a row, which is possible? The Reds just won 7 games in a row. Even bad teams go on a streak. See where they are after that. I'm not optimistic. I don't think they're going to be in playoff contention. To me, seriously, unless you get over 500 and they're 4 under, they got a ways to go. Hopefully you go to San Diego, take 2 out of 3, and then see where you are after that.
You know what, Ron? I think the worst thing that could happen to this team is if they do go on a winning streak and they are 500 and it looks like they're within striking distance 4 or 5 games like they were the last 2 years, and then you don't. Then I don't know. I mean, I think Neil Huntington has to know what kind of team they are right now. But the fans would be optimistic that they would do something to try to compete. But I think then the Pirates, they're not great, but they're not bad. They're kind of like right in the middle there, they don't do enough.
500's mediocre. I mean, it's not a good team. Mediocre team. You got to get over 500. Again, I'm not optimistic, but I thought they hit rock bottom Sunday. They lost that game to Arizona 3-0. So lifeless. I mean, I really couldn't wait for it to end. That was the 5th loss in a row. They go to New York. They win Monday. They hang on to do it. Lose Tuesday, a real tough loss. And if they'd have lost last night, I think really they'd have been playing out the string the rest of the way.
Yeah, and yesterday you could maybe bring up that they looked lifeless for most of that game, too.
7 innings, nothing against Zach Wheeler.
I know. And so, yeah, I mean, the Pirates are what they are. They're 38-42 right now, 5 games out of a wild card, 8.5 back of the division. I don't see them compete for the division and maybe get people hopes up here. If they can take 2 out of 3, like you said, go to L.A. and see what you can do, and then come back home against Philadelphia. They play well at home, but, I wish the Pirates would kind of take a page out of the Penguins' book. You can see what the Penguins are doing, and I understand it's 2 different leagues and 2 different
one salary cap, not another salary cap, right.
But at least, the Penguins are going for it. And I wish that the Pirates had that mentality, and I don't think that they would ever have that mentality as long as Nutting is the owner of this franchise.
Hard for me to argue with that.
All right, so we can talk a little bit about the Penguins right now, switch a little gears. And, you can't get your hopes up right now what the Penguins are going to do. But what's your take of the Jack Johnson signing? I know you probably have been getting phone calls all morning on the Fan. Do you like it? I kind of like it. I think it's a change of scenery. Look what he's done in the past. Last year was kind of off, but he has a rapport with Sidney Crosby. I like the move.
Yeah, I do too. I like the price. If it's only $3 or a little more million a year, I'm okay with that. I don't like 5 years. I think that's long. But by the same token, they're built to win now. If he helps them win a cup in the next year or two, no one cares what happens in years 4 and 5 of this contract. I think he's an upgrade over Hunwick and Ruhwedel. Maybe the change of scenery help. We've seen Jacques Martin and Sergei Gonchar do great work with like Justin Schultz. I think Alexiak got better after he came here last year. Maybe they'll find a key to get back to Jack Johnson's talents. Now, he may be over the hill. He was horrible last year, beyond bad, horrible. An unbelievably bad year, and then he even couldn't dress for the playoffs. He was a healthy scratch, but maybe the change of scenery will help him. At the price, I'm okay with it. I really am.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you on the price. I'm okay with the price, but I don't like the years. I really didn't, to be truthful, I really didn't like the years with the Patrick Hornquist deal either.
Neither did I.
But
you had to do it.
You had
to do it, and if he in the next year or two, it's worth it.
Yeah,
absolutely, it's worth it.
All right, so coming up later in the show, we got another sizzling shot, actually 2 of them. Ruth's Chris sizzling shot will feature 2 of the best shots here over the week. A couple hole-in-ones. I'm waiting for mine. The sizzling shot is brought to you by Ruth's Chris at 6 p.m. Sound home of the sizzling steak. Done right. Ron and I are headed there after the show. Back in a couple minutes.